and welcome back to the Halls of Music. We are going to be going over strumming techniques in the time signature of 3/4. If you are a beginner and just getting started with music and the guitar, it's probably a good idea for you to go back and take a look at my clapping video with the time signature of 3/4. This gives you a reference point for the rhythms and the feel of the time signature without having to add the complexity of involving the guitar. This video is going to go over chords such as E minor, A suspended 2, D suspended 2, C major 7, and G major 6. This video will also help you to develop a sense of creativity in the 3/4 time signature. If you can be creative and maintain a 3/4 time signature, you have surely developed a pretty good beginning understanding of that time signature. If you are interested in increasing your vocabulary of beginner guitar chords, I have a book called Chord Warmups for Beginner Guitar, Book 1. This book is designed to be vocabulary as well as repetitive exercises so that you are sure to internalize where the chords are on the guitar and what the names of each chord is. The first skill that we need to be able to begin strumming the guitar is just gently laying our left hand over the strings. We are maintaining a sense of relaxation with this. They're just gently sitting on top. If there's tension and you're tensing up your muscles or squeezing the strings, that's not the right way to do it. Gently lay the fingers on top of the strings so that when you strum through all 6 strings, you get this nice percussive sound. The first chord that we are going to be going over is E minor. E minor is probably the easiest chord on the guitar to play. You're going to use either your first and second finger or your second and third finger to make this chord. Either way will work. With your first and second finger, you'll put your first finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, that's a B, and your second finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, right next to it, and you strum all 6 strings. The other way to make this with the left hand is with the 2nd and 3rd finger. We would put the 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string on that B, and the 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string on that E, like this. Again, we're going to strum all 6 strings. The next chord that we're going to be going over is very much like E minor. It looks really similar. It's called A suspended 2. A suspended 2 can be played either with your first and second finger or with your second and third. So if you play A suspended 2 with your first and second, your first finger is going to go on the 2nd fret of the 4th string on that E, and your second finger is going to go on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string on that A. With them together, this is what the chord sounds like. With A suspended 2, your strumming needs to be from the 5th string out. It's okay if you strum the 6th string. If you make little mistakes like that, it doesn't sound horrible. It actually sounds pretty cool. But in order to develop the coordination that you need to have a good consistent right hand, and for the exercise's sake, be sure to strum from the 5th string out. As you're working through the exercise, you can use your eyeballs to look down and see the strings. You'll notice when I'm doing the exercises that I will be watching my hands. The next chord that we're going to be going over is called D suspended 2 or D sus 2. This chord can also be played with 2 different ways with your left hand. You can use your first and second finger, or if you prefer, which I prefer, I use my first and third finger with this particular chord. Live long and prosper. So with a D sus 2, you are going to play your first finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string on that A, and you can use your second finger to play the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. You will strum from the 4th string out. Be sure to use your eyeballs to watch where you strum. The other way to make this chord, which is the one that I prefer because it just makes my hand feel more relaxed, is to put my first finger on the second fret of the third string on that A and use my third finger to play the third fret on the second string. That feels more relaxed in my hand. Again, we're going to strum from the fourth string out, using our eyes to watch, making a good, crisp, bright strum. The next chord that we're going to be going over is C major 7. C major 7 also has two options for the left hand. So with C major, the first option is using your second finger to play the third fret on the fifth string, which is a C, the note C, and you're going to use your first finger to play the second fret on the fourth string, which is an E. We'll strum from the fifth string out. Be sure to use your eyeballs and look, making a nice crisp strum. The second way to play C major 7 is to use your third finger to play this third fret on the fifth string, that C, and use your second finger to play the second fret on the fourth string, that E. So it would sound exactly the same, strumming from the fifth string out, paying attention, using our eyes, making a nice crisp strum. Finally, the last chord that we're going to learn for this video is going to be G major 6. G major 6 also has two options for the left hand. The first option, using your first two fingers, is the second finger is going to come over here to the sixth string on the third fret and play that note, which is a G, and your first finger is going to play the second fret on the fifth string right there, which is a B. You'll strum all six strings on this one, so it's a bit easier, making a nice, crisp strum. The second way to play the G major 6, or the second option, I should say, is to use your second and third fingers. So we're going to use our third finger over here on the sixth string, third fret, playing that G, and our second finger is going to play the second fret, fifth string. It's going to sound exactly the same, making a nice, crisp strum. Remember to have fun, to stay relaxed, keeping your right hand and your left hand relaxed throughout all of the exercises that we do in this video and every other video that we do. Being relaxed and having no tension in your hands will help you to develop the coordination and skills needed to progress really quickly on the guitar. The first exercise that we're going to be going over looks like this. It is dotted half notes in a 3/4 time signature. I'm not going to be able to leave this up here on the screen because you have to be able to see what I'm doing on the guitar. So we're going to scratch, which means we're placing our left hand on the strings gently, and we're going to be strumming through all six strings like this. I will count to 3 twice and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The most important thing is that you keep your right hand relaxed and that it feels good as you're doing the exercise. You don't want to be tense. Try taking your right hand, stick it out, and wiggle your fingers with your arm and hand relaxed. Now tense every muscle in your arm and try to wiggle your fingers. It's much harder when you have tension. So maintaining a sense of relaxed motion is what you're looking for in your right hand. The next exercise that we're going to be doing is scratching dotted half notes with the metronome. The metronome is set up at 75 beats per minute with an accent on beat 1 so that we are sure to hear beat 1 come around every time. The tone setting is to 11 on my metronome, so it sounds like a woodblock. I'm going to start the metronome up and I will count to 3 twice and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The next exercise is scratching dotted half notes with the metronome without counting out loud. So here we go. The metronome is at 75 beats per minute. It has an accent on beat 1, and I'm using the woodblock tone, which is 11. I will count to 3 twice and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You probably noticed that I'm moving my head and bouncing around with the metronome as it's playing. I think this is a great idea. Rhythm should be something that you feel through your whole body. It's not just in your head. This final exercise that we're doing with scratching is going to be about the integrity of how you perceive this rhythm. We are going to attempt to maintain a 3/4 time signature, strumming on beat 1 only, which is dotted half notes, and we're going to maintain the rhythm in our body and in our mind. So we're counting internally and feeling the groove as we strum on beat 1 every time. This is something that you need to be doing on your own. Playing along with the video is probably not going to help a whole lot. The main thing is for you to be doing this on your own and feeling the rhythm and participating with it with the guitar in your hands and strumming in a very simple, straightforward, and easy manner. Here we go. I am going to demonstrate that I'm dancing a 3/4 time signature and maintaining beat 1 with the strums. Here we go. I'll count twice and then come in and demonstrate how to do this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You may notice that I'm breathing on beat 3 pretty consistently. This is not something that I plan out or think about that much. I think it's a habit that I got into over the years. We're using our entire body to develop a sense of intimacy with the rhythm. We want to be so engaged with it and to really truly get into it and feel it. All right, so the next set of exercises that we're going to be doing is going over the chord E minor. Remember, E minor has 2 options. You can either use your 1st and 2nd finger to play the 2nd fret on the 5th string and the 2nd fret on the 4th string, or you can use your 2nd and 3rd finger to play the 2nd fret on the 5th string and the 2nd fret on the 4th string. We're going to make nice, crisp strums. I will count to 3 twice and begin the exercise strumming on beat 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Make your strums nice and crisp. Try to get through all 6 strings. Have fun. The next exercise is using the metronome to play along with while counting. The metronome is set up at 75 beats per minute with the tone at 11 with an accent on beat 1 so that we are sure to hear the 3/4 time signature. I will count to 3 2 times and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It is fun to be a little aggressive with E minor. It is a dark and ominous sounding chord. So have fun with that and enjoy making good, crisp, strong strums. The next exercise is strumming with the metronome without counting out loud. The metronome is set up at 75 beats per minute. There's an accent on beat 1 so that we are sure to hear the 3/4 time signature. And I have the tone set at 11, which is the wood block. I will count to 3 twice and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Remember to stay relaxed in your right and left hands. Allow yourself to participate by dancing along with the rhythms to develop an understanding of your rhythmic center and how it relates to the 3/4 time signature. The next exercise that I'm going to demonstrate for you is all about personal integrity. Can you maintain internally the 3/4 time signature and strum along accurately on your own without the assistance of the metronome or the video? I will demonstrate this and give you a short exercise. Remember, it's great to be relaxed and kind of dance along with the pulse of the meter that you are playing on your own at home with your guitar. I will count to 3 and demonstrate how to do this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm finding myself breathing on beat 3 every single time that time. It's just a habit for me to do that. If it confuses you to try to do that, don't do it. Do whatever makes it easy for you to get into the rhythm and to participate with this in a way that's relaxed and fun. Think about how you feel when you listen to your favorite music. Does it relax you? Does it make you feel good? That's how you want to feel when you're playing. Try to be stress-free and enjoy the process of learning something new every day. The next chord that we're going over with these exercises is A suspended 2. A suspended 2 has 2 options. You can use your first finger, 2nd fret, 4th string, 2nd finger, 2nd fret, 3rd string, or 2nd fret, 4th string with your 2nd finger, 2nd fret, 3rd string with your 3rd finger. If you're just a beginner, probably a good idea to just use your first 2 fingers for everything to keep it relaxed and fun. Use your eyes to make sure that you strum from the 5th string out. I will count to 3 2 times and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can practice these exercises for way longer at home, doing tons of repetition on your own. In the video, I have to keep it pretty short. Otherwise, the video would be super, super long. It's already long enough. Be sure to take time and spend lots of time with good repetitions at home on your own. The next exercise, I will use A suspended 2 using my 2nd and 3rd finger. We're going to be counting along with the metronome. The metronome is at 75 beats per minute with an accent on beat 1 so that we are sure to hear the 3/4 time signature. I will count to 3 twice and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I purposefully hit the sixth string from time to time just to show you that making that mistake is not that big of a deal. Don't sacrifice your ability to maintain a consistent rhythm by stopping and starting over and over because you make a small little mistake with your right hand. The next exercise, I will use fingers 1 and 2 to play A suspended 2 along with the metronome. The metronome is at 75 beats per minute with an accent on beat 1 so that we are sure to hear the 3/4 time signature. I will count to 3 twice and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You may have noticed that I practice strumming quietly some and strumming aggressively some. That's something that you can do with these exercises as well. Practice going loud, practice going soft. This will help you with your creativity later a great deal. Can you maintain a 3/4 time signature internally while strumming on beat 1 with A suspended 2? I will use my second and third finger to play A suspended 2 this time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think you noticed that the first half of my playing was loud, the second half is quiet. You can practice dynamics like that. You can do a block of loud strums and a block of quiet strums. You can also do loud, quiet, loud, quiet. However you feel being creative with that on your own is a good idea. This will help your creativity later a great deal. The next chord that we're going to be using is D suspended 2. Remember, D suspended 2 has 2 options for your left hand. You can use your first finger on the second fret of the third string and your second finger on the third fret of the second string, or you can use your third finger on the second fret of the third string. We're going to be strumming from the fourth string out. Be sure to use your eyeballs. I will count to 3 2 times and then begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I purposely hit the other strings from time to time just to show you that it doesn't sound that bad. I also maintain my rhythmic consistency when I made these little coordination choices. The next exercise is counting and playing along with the metronome. The metronome is going to be set up at 75 beats per minute with an accent on beat 1 so that we are sure to hear the 3/4 time signature. I will be using my third finger this time to play the D sus 2 chord. I will count to 3 twice and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Notice that I did 2 strums loud, 2 strums quiet that time to work on my dynamics. The next exercise is going to be using D sus 2 with the metronome without counting out loud. The metronome has an accent on beat 1, so we are sure to hear the 3/4 time signature. I will be using my second finger this time to play the D sus 2 chord. I will count to 3 twice and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That time, I started with quiet strums and led to loud ones. All right, so we're going to do D suspended 2, maintaining a 3/4 time signature on my own. I will count to 3 and demonstrate the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, I did slow down a little bit at the end to allow the exercise to have some sense of closure. That is something that you can work on your own at home if you'd like to. Have fun. The next chord that we're going to be going over is C major 7. Remember, C major 7 has 2 options with the left hand. We can use our second finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string with our first finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string for C major 7. Or we can use our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string and our 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Also the same sound. We are strumming from the 5th string out. Be sure to use your eyes. If you accidentally hit the 6th string, it's not that big a deal. The main thing is to be having fun and participating with the rhythm consistently. So I'm going to count to 3 and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yes, I did accidentally hit the 6th string from time to time. Kind of accidentally on purpose, but just to show you that it doesn't sound bad, and I maintained my rhythm as throughout. I also used dynamics where I was loud some and I was soft some and then got louder again. The next exercise, we're going to be counting along with the metronome, which is at 75 beats per minute, with an accent on beat 1 so that we are sure to hear the 3/4 time signature. And I will count to 3 twice and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Notice that I got quieter in the second half of that exercise, letting the music slightly die out. The next exercise is C major 7 with the metronome, but not counting out loud. The metronome is at 75 beats per minute with an accent on beat 1 so that we are sure to hear the 3/4 time signature. I will count to 3 twice and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You probably noticed that I started soft, I got louder, and then got soft again. I built a little dynamic arc with that particular exercise. Great way for you to practice at home. The next exercise is me demonstrating the integrity of maintaining a 3/4 time signature without the assistance of the video or without the assistance of the metronome. I will count to 3 and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I did a combination of using dynamics and strumming the 6th string along when I was trying to be really loud and meaty with the delivery of the chord. I'm just going with it in the moment and feeling how I want the music to progress. I hope that you have fun practicing this stuff at home, developing these basic musicianship skills. The final chord that we're going to be using through this set of exercises is G major 6. Remember, G major 6 has 2 options for the left hand. You can use your 1st and 2nd finger, or you can use your 3rd and 2nd finger. We are strumming all 6 strings, making nice crisp strums. The first exercise is just counting to 3 over and over without the metronome, strumming on beat 1. I will count to 3 2 times and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think you probably noticed that the first half of the exercise was loud. To practice working on playing soft, I did the last half of my strums quieter. The next exercise is G major 6, counting and playing out loud along with the metronome. I will count to 3 twice and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm sure you noticed that I had 2 loud strums and 2 quiet, and even my counting got quieter as I was strumming. That just makes it easier for me to follow the dynamic on the guitar as well. If thinking about dynamics is messing you up, just don't participate with dynamics right now until you get the exercises coordinated and comfortable. The next exercise is G major 6 with the metronome without counting out loud. The metronome is at 75 beats per minute with an accent on beat 1 so that we are sure to hear the 3/4 time signature. I will count to 3 twice and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If you're having trouble adding the loud and soft dynamics to this music, just ignore that for now and keep things steady and consistent. The absolute most important thing is to be having fun and be relaxed. Being creative with music is fantastic fun. I guarantee you that the creation of music and its development came long before we began to write it down or put it into some category called dotted half notes, quarter notes, or eighth notes. You are the composer. You are the one who is bringing the music from within you and manifesting it here on this instrument. So I urge you to let yourself have a sense of liberty and fun when you're being creative. Now, the exercises in this video are in a 3/4 time signature, so there is a little bit of restriction to how we're going to be creative. I'm going to do my best to maintain a 3/4 time signature, but I will be using note values other than dotted half notes. There'll probably be some quarter notes, there'll probably be some eighth notes. That's okay. They exist within me long before they exist on the page. I will also be using a sense of dynamics, so there will be loud portions and soft portions. This increases the drama and gives us a nice sense of conflict resolution, telling a nice musical story. The first example that I will be doing with this creative exercise in 3/4 is with E minor. If I accidentally leave the time signature of 3/4 and do something else, that's okay. Most of what I'm going to be playing will be in 3/4. I will count to 3 and then give you an example. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The next chord that we're going to be using is A suspended 2 for our creative experiment. We're going to have liberty and freedom, which means our right hand may not always strum all 5 strings. Allow yourself to have the freedom to strum and go in a way that your particular sense of creative energy flows. If that means you hit all 6 strings, that's awesome. That means you hit just 2 or 3 strings. That's also awesome. However you feel in the moment to play the guitar is what you should be doing. I will count to 3 and give you an example with A suspended 2. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, so just for fun, I hit those last little 2 strings at the end just to see what it would sound like. It didn't end as well as I'd like to, so I went, there's an A sus2. So the next chord that we're going to be using for a creative example is going to be D suspended 2. I am going to hit all 6 strings sometimes. I'm going to hit the 4 that we hit in the exercise sometimes, and sometimes I might hit just 2. It really depends on how I'm feeling in the moment. I will count to 3 and give you the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. In that example, I used some upstrokes. If you're feeling brave, you can try to use some upstrokes too. Keeping things relaxed, simple and fun on a day-to-day basis is really very important. Adding new things can be frustrating. You want to manage that sense of frustration where there's not as much of it on a daily basis. Be sure to maximize your fun and enjoy yourself as much as you possibly can. The last example of creativity is with G major 6. I will use a few more upstrokes this time and some dynamics. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You probably noticed that I use repetition a good bit in this example. Since the down-up strokes is something that could potentially confuse me, I made sure that I repeated something over and over that allowed me to maintain consistency without losing a sense of rhythmic integrity. The main thing is that I'm having fun and enjoying being creative with the instrument, and I'm utilizing the knowledge and the coordination from these videos to develop a sense of creativity and fun for you to have on your own at home. I would love to hear how you are experiencing the creative side of music, and I look forward to hearing how your consistency with a 3/4 time signature is growing and getting better and better every day. So let's set the metronome up for this video specifically. We're going to ignore all the functions on this side of the metronome. We're going to go over here to our tone function and move it to 11 to get it to be the wood blocks. Right now, it's set up at a 4/4 time signature with a swung hi-hat. So I'm going to go into my function 4/4 function down here, and I'm going to hit the minus button to get it to 3/4. I'm going to set it up, make sure that it's on quarter note so that we have no hi-hat, and I'm going to make sure that we're accenting beat 1. So beat 1, I have 2 blocks. Every other beat has only 1 block. That is precisely how it's set up in the video. This is what it sounds like. Again, I have this ran to an external speaker. With the woodblock sound, it's not too bad without an external. You can still hear it pretty good. But the external speaker does add just a little bit of color and depth to the sound. Have fun using this metronome. Be sure to email me. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.